We're tackling hormones today. It is a big conversation. Every woman is loaded with them. Men, you got them too. And when they change, why do we change so drastically? That's what we're talking about today on Sarah Has Questions. I'm Sarah King, and I have a lot of questions. Hormone replacement therapy. Will that increase your desire to want to have sex? You gotta get that protein. Get that protein. Ladies, you need the protein. Do you think it's been exaggerated? If I have sex the night before my pap smear, can it mess up my results? In this show, I get to ask WakeMed doctors any question I want, and bless their hearts, they have all the answers. Sarah Has Questions is a production of Mix 101.5 and Capital Broadcasting Company, and it's presented by WakeMed. Today, we are talking about a pretty broad topic, hormones, and we have Dr. Victoria Fashikin Thore. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. You've been here before.
Wonderful to be here.
And you've had a ride with hormones because you had a baby a little bit over a year ago.
For sure.
Yeah. So you know what it's like. You know, you when you have a baby, your hormones go insane. So we're just going to start from the top and just talk about hormones in general. What are the major hormones that women have in their bodies?
That is a huge topic.
Okay.
There are so many things that regulate our body, but in general, when it comes to the reasons women come to me for an issue, we're really coming down to the thyroid, estrogen, progesterone, and the hormones that relate to regulating those within their body.
Okay. And what does the thyroid do?
I think of the thyroid as like the command center of the body.
Oh, okay.
So anything that can go right or go wrong can be because of the thyroid.
Oh. Okay, well, we need to be nice to our thyroids. I love you, thyroid, wherever you are. Are there specific signs that specific hormones are off?
Definitely.
So what are some signs?
And it can be hard, too, because they overlap.
Okay.
So for some women, they may notice changes to their menstrual cycle. And especially when we start thinking about as we transition into the menopausal and perimenopause part of our lives, we can have things like hot flashes, night sweats where you feel super hot at night, irritability, mood swings, changes to your libido.
Oh, all those things, yeah.
Weight changes, moodiness, really kind of all the things that make us feel well can go wrong.
And that can happen before you go into perimenopause too.
Definitely.
And so why is it worse in some women than others? Specifically, like, I'm just speaking from my own experience at this point. Some people in perimenopause, my friend Linda, if you're listening, Linda, sorry, calling you out. Won't say your last name. But her hot sweats or her hot flashes were so intense. And like I have had them, but they're not that bad. So why are they so different in some than others?
That's a great question. And the truth is we don't fully know. Some of it must be genetics. So it seems like women tend to transition into menopause around the same age as other women in their family and may have more similar symptoms.
Okay.
And some of it is just absolute luck or unluck.
Yeah, totally. Do you find that because certain races have it worse than others?
Yeah, that as well. So even there's a lot of differences within women in the same racial group, but we do know that it seems like when it comes to the hot flashes, night sweats part of it, it seems like Black women have it a bit worse.
Congratulations.
As always.
Well, talk to us about the cognitive function. Do we know, like, is there a specific hormone that's kind of tied to cognitive function or cognitive? I'm having a hard time with that word. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
your brain.
Cognitive function. Yeah. You're going to hear me say this a lot.
That's fine.
It's multifactorial.
Oh, okay.
But we do know that for women, estrogen plays such an important role in our body.
Right.
From everything from the way that our blood vessels work and how our heart health functions to our bones. And there are a lot of interplay within our hormones and how our brain and our body functions.
Okay.
So some of it is also we're transitioning to a different age, but also there's a lot of things these hormones do in our body that sometimes we don't even fully understand.
Well, not yet, because we just started studying female bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well.
She's like, I have a job with a hospital. I'm not saying anything about that. What exactly happens, though, in the brain? Do we know that yet? Like, why is it happening like this?
So I kind of think of it as like when you look, you brought up the fact that I recently had a child.
You did.
In some ways, postpartum is like menopause light. Because especially if you're breastfeeding, your estrogen levels fall.
Oh, interesting.
And so I had the fun time of enjoying night sweats and waking up with my hair drenched in sweat and the moodiness and the pregnancy brain.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that go into this. And I'm sorry if I'm not specific enough, but our bodies as women really responds to estrogen and progesterone and how those things work together. And so when our body decides it's time to not have babies anymore and those levels fall and never come back, everything just kind of feels like it's breaking.
Yeah, it really does. And this is going to sound like a dumb question, but I'm asking it anyway. Do men have estrogen?
They do.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Just like we have testosterone.
I knew we had testosterone, but I didn't know if men had estrogen. And does their levels fluctuate, or they just, and what's making it? Because I thought the ovaries made estrogen.
So ovaries are kind of our dominant maker, but actually also our fat cells. And there's something called aromatase that will take other hormones like androgens and testosterone and be able to convert them into estrogen.
Oh, interesting.
So men and women have that.
Okay.
And for men, their estrogen levels are relatively low levels.
Okay.
If they're really, really high, then they may start to notice some unpleasant side effects like breast growth.
Right. How do hormone changes, or excuse me, what hormone changes contribute to weight gain? Because I'm just so sad about weight gain. I've done nothing different. In fact, I eat less than I ever had in my life. And I've gained like 35 pounds in 5 years.
So studies have shown that the average person probably gains around 5 pounds a year.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so
you're saying perimenopausal women or just people in general?
When we were taking a look at does birth control actually cause weight gain? When we looked at how much weight people did or didn't gain on average just without birth control plus with, it's somewhere around there.
Interesting.
But definitely as we get older, our metabolism and all the things that go into it aren't as efficient.
Okay.
You know, we may not be as active, but sometimes we are.
Yeah. And nothing has changed. And it's
cortisol levels, which are our stress hormones. That also really likes to help us hold on to pounds.
Because it's like we might starve at some point. So we need to hold on to these. I need to have a conversation with my cortisol.
Our body is built to make us survive and not necessarily look bikini ready.
Well, I'm trying to move into the mindset my bikini body is my bikini body. I just have a bikini on and this is my body.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, how do hormones influence digestive issues like IBS or food sensitivities? Can your hormones affect that for you at all?
For sure. And one that I definitely think about is the thyroid, coming back to that.
Okay, sure.
So thyroid kind of makes everything work together. And for people who have low thyroid hormone, it can slow down their gut. For people who have high thyroid hormone, it can kind of rev them up. It can also give them hot flashes or night sweats. It can make their skin change.
Wow.
And it can cause a lot of the symptoms that overlap with perimenopause.
Gotcha.
So it's definitely one to check when someone comes with these.
So cortisol is almost as important as estrogen in some ways. If you have high cortisol levels. Is that what you're saying? You're saying thyroid. I'm so sorry.
Well, together.
Okay.
Yeah. So cortisol is something that we all have, male or female.
Okay.
And when you're an adult, you tend to have more reasons for stress.
Yes.
And that stress level can make your cortisol level start to climb and stay kind of high.
I see.
And that can make you hungrier. That can make you hold on to weight more.
Right.
That can change the way that all kinds of things interact, including how your skin feels and that sense of irritability. And then we also know that chronic stress can change our heart health.
Oh my God.
And can make, blood vessel changes and things that can predispose us to heart disease and heart attacks.
Fabulous. Well, you would think that, part of, I know they say lower your stress when you go to the doctor, but there really needs to be like some proper protocol on that because clearly it has a huge effect on everything in our bodies. Libido. Yeah. Talk about that.
So libido for women is
tricky.
It's complicated.
It is.
It's worth understanding.
Absolutely.
But when we think about libido for women, we really have to think about how are you feeling? What are the stressors on your mind? What is the relationship with the people or the person or people that you're having sex with or being intimate with?
Right.
And then also health effects. What are medications that you're on? And so all of those things need to be looked at.
And then hormones.
And then absolutely your hormones.
Yeah.
Estrogen and also in post postmenopausal women, testosterone, we know seem to interplay with that even more.
What does testosterone do?
Yeah, so having evaluated and controlled for the other things, testosterone seems to have a lot of interactions for women after menopause, and it's actually a treatment for low libido.
So it'll make you randy if you get a little extra.
Well, the goal is to bring you back to what your premenopausal testosterone levels are.
Okay.
If you're having sexual function issues.
I see.
After you've evaluated the other things.
Yeah. We're like chemistry sets, walking chemistry sets.
Coming back to other hormones. So estrogen is what helps make the vagina stretchy. It's what allows your body to make lubrication when you're aroused or even at baseline. It's what makes the vagina have its ability to flex and stretch the way that it can.
I see.
To accommodate having a baby or having sex, since the vagina is normally a lot smaller than the things we end up using it for.
Sure. Diplomatic way to say that.
And so when our estrogen levels fall, that will definitely impact our libido. Okay. And there are different ways to think about giving it back as well.
So is testosterone just a libido thing for us, or for, I'm saying us as women, or like what other things does testosterone do in a woman?
That's a really good question. So testosterone can do a lot of things that are bad if their levels are too high. Okay. So sometimes those are the symptoms for PCOS that women think of.
Like hair growth.
Okay. Yeah. If it's really high, the deepening voice, changes to the clitoris.
Wow.
Male pattern hair growth and male pattern hair loss.
Do people who are trans, do they tend to go on when they want to switch over
that is
from
the dominant
female to male?
Hormone. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
That is the dominant hormone. And it kind of fights estrogen in some ways. So that's why the goal is balance. Testosterone just by itself upping your levels is not going to end well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you get aggressive too, right?
It's possible.
Yeah. All right. I kind of want to go through each of them and ask you this. Then what is progesterone's duty as a hormone?
Oh, yeah. So progesterone, I kind of think of it as like the frenemy of estrogen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The frenemy. You love her, but she gets on your nerves.
So like when women start to have a lot of the like premenstrual symptoms. Okay. It can be their fluctuating progesterone levels.
Okay. So it causes moodiness.
So it can make you moody. In pregnancy, it's why women have really bad acid reflux because it makes you can think of it as making like the opening to the stomach a little leakier. Oh. So your stomach acid kind of reflux is bad.
I had that when I was pregnant. It was the worst.
Progesterone also has some good effects. Okay. So when its levels alter, when we don't get pregnant, when we have a menstrual cycle, it's what thins out the lining of our uterus.
I see. Okay.
So it's what kind of helps precipitate having that bleeding that sheds your lining, that kind of resets. It also contributes to thickening the cervical mucus.
Wow, it does a lot.
And so that's why things like IUDs that are hormonal, that are just progesterone, they have a really nice effect on decreasing women's bleeding. Oh. And often they're cramping with periods as well. Okay. And then it can also... It's really effective at preventing pregnancy. Okay. And it doesn't come with the possible changes to a little bit with blood pressure or blood clot risk for high-risk women that estrogen has.
Do we know exactly why? Like, what is it for? What is estrogen for?
Oh, my goodness.
It's a hard question.
Big question.
I'm so sorry. Is it too big? Should I break it down?
Oh, it's very philosophical. What is anything for?
Oh,
I kind of think...
Girl, let's get deep, honey. Let's get some tea in here, please.
I think estrogen is it's one of our really important building blocks.
Okay.
And it's part of, when you come down to it genetically, men and women are different for a reason. And for us, estrogen is one of the things that helps us be capable of the things our bodies can do, like carry a child and be pregnant and breastfeed if we want to. But even if we never go that route with our lives, it's still one of the things that is designed to help power us, similar to how testosterone works for men.
Okay. I think you handled that really well, considering I asked you such a huge question. Let's talk about HRT, because that's hormone replacement therapy. Yes. I'm so, HRT and I are so tight, I gave it an acronym, okay? I need to give her a name. But so it had a bad rep for a long time.
Oh, my goodness,
Talk about that very quickly. What was the bad rap about?
Yeah, oh, my gosh. HRT is really getting its time in the sun again.
It really is, which is great.
So back in the, I want to say 90s, early 2000s, a big study was done called the Women's Health Initiative. And it was designed to kind of really understand what hormone replacement might look like for women.
Okay.
And how it affects us and what's the good, the bad, the ugly. The problem is the results were mixed and they weren't initially separated well enough. And so they came back with HRT is going to give you cancer, breast cancer. And so it scared off like at least 2 generations of women and doctors from really understanding how important hormone replacement can be for women, for their quality of life, and actually for their longevity of life.
Right.
Now, it did teach us that there are certain people that HRT really should be for, and it may not be for all women at all times.
Who would it not be for?
So if you're older than 60, or you're more than 10 years from menopause, your body's already transitioned to not dealing with estrogen.
Okay.
And so adding it back to that person at that time in their whole body seems to just really power all the negative effects of estrogen.
Interesting. Okay.
But if someone is young, so if they're under 60, if menopause is new for them,
right,
it's happened within that decade, then HRT has not only an incredible quality of life benefit if they're dealing with hot flashes, night sweats,
itchy ears, the weirdest one,
but also maintaining their heart function and their heart health, decreasing their possibility of worsening hypertension, decreasing colon cancer risk.
Wow.
And depending on what other things they have going on, it doesn't change their breast cancer risk. It's also important to understand that when you were born female with breasts, your risk in your lifetime without a family history of having breast cancer is 1 in 8.
Huh. Wow.
So hormone replacement therapy for women who are on estrogen and progesterone, that increase in risk of hormone replacement therapy is about 3 in 1,000 over 5 years of breast cancer.
Okay.
And that doesn't come with an increased risk of dying.
Okay.
Because they tend to be early stage, and breast cancer is thankfully an increasingly curable
Thank God.
cancer.
Wow.
So, but what we also know is that in the women who are in the population where hormone replacement therapy is helpful and should be offered, that there's a 30% mortality reduction.
Oh, wow.
Overall, due to the changes in the heart and heart disease.
Okay.
Because heart disease is still the #1 killer of women. So what we now know is that when you are replacing those hormones soon after your body's lost them, it's not such a shock to the system.
I
right?
see.
If it's been gone, you've left the place, right?
Yeah.
It's like you moved out of your house 10 years ago and now you want to come back and you're like, why isn't it comfortable anymore?
Yeah, you're like, I'm different now.
So we know that, if you're the right kind of person, and also if you don't have a lot of other health risks that mean that it's not safe for you. So cancers that respond to estrogen.
Okay.
So if someone who already has breast cancer, estrogen, hormone replacement therapy is not the right choice for them.
Got it.
However, they could still use something like vaginal estrogen.
Okay. I have one last question, and it is, what is one thing women should never ignore when it comes to their hormones? I love asking you hard questions.
Ooh, that is a good question. I think it comes down to we have the right to feel good in ourselves, in our bodies.
You just gave me goosebumps.
At any age.
Yeah.
Because ideally, if we're in good health, we take good care of ourselves, we're going to spend about as much time in perimenopause and the menopausal transition as we did in our reproductive years.
Right.
So that's decades of our lives that are, a lot of women have gotten the message that you should just almost like wait until you die and whatever is going on doesn't matter.
Just deal with it.
Yeah. Sex gone.
Yeah.
Energy gone.
Yeah. We're allowed to be
sleeping comfortably gone.
Yeah. No, that's not fair.
And that's absolutely not true. And there are really good options, not only for managing those symptoms, but just helping make you a healthy person inside out.
I love it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You can come back anytime. And I've got more hormone questions. So maybe we'll do a part 2 at some point.
I appreciate that. It's always great to talk to you.
I am actually really curious and excited to see where the science is going on hormones. If it affects all these systems so profoundly, once you figure out how they work, sounds like you'll be able to fix a lot of stuff as we get older, which is really exciting. If you enjoy Sarah Has Questions, tell a friend, sing our praises on social media. And speaking of social media, you can find us on Instagram at Sarah Has Questions. And don't be shy. Leave us a message with an episode idea or let us know what you're thinking of the podcast so far. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time, be well.